Alright, what is today's nonsense, you ask? It's another ranking bar chart race. I think these are fun, so I did another. This is a win percentage over time chart, but it is Bayesian adjustments to it. So it is estimating a player's current win percentage based on their results leading up to this point, generally putting the most emphasis on recent results. It is a very reactive system in a way that ELO isn't. So a player that stops winning will much more quickly drop off the list. A player that starts winning will much more quickly rise onto the list. Much more reactive list. And the climbs and movement is faster. About equally predictive. I put a bunch of work into this, getting the math pretty good. I think there are some tweaks I want to make, but I felt like making a video. Um, so yeah, it should be a fun snapshot of who has done well at moments in time. It adjusts for strength of opposition. It, I think, does smart things around how many games a player has played, so how much confidence we should have. For instance, Kaus Debonair wins the first tournament. He's 6-0. He's 100%. It does not show him as 100%. It's only confident that he's, at this point, predictably a 75% player. And when I say predictably, I mean if you predicted Kaus to now be an 100% player, you would be shocked when he sometimes lost games. But if you predict him at a 75% player based on this result, you will much more accurately predict future performance. And so it's saying, what are we estimating you at such that we can, based on your past results, reasonably predict your future ones? And of course, after someone has a great result, it's going to be higher on them, and people often don't follow those up well. But this is a good predictive system that I think adjusts for that well. The one other thing it does is after 3 tournaments are not played, it will drop a player off the list. So we're not going to see inactive players, so we can really try to get a snapshot of that moment. Of course, you'll see a little inactivity because a player will stick around a little after they stop playing, but that seems reasonable to me. Um, oh, if a player misses 4 or 5 tournaments in a row but then comes back, I don't drop them off because that felt like too much effort to me. If you see a player's score not moving at all, that's probably a sign they're not actually active at this moment in time. But for the most part, I think this works well around inactivity. I also have the nice little pictures. Some of them are more visible than others. My favorite one is the picture I did of Jaws from Jaws. Um, yeah, so let's watch. I'm just going to keep track of how many number ones we have, but it's, I think, more fun to watch the bottom of the list and see a lot of names you're not going to be as used to seeing. Players who were, for a point in time, kind of, 7th to 15th best tournament player, but maybe don't get all the accolades that I throw out there. Okay, let's just play the video. Kaus is our first number one. And our first era is kind of this era of people grabbing a single tournament. We get Broccoli taking the second, um, Unfixable taking the third. That's our third. Cookie taking the fourth. He will later become a repeat winner, but not for a while. Not for a couple years. Um, then I think we get the Doc Evil and Karmazin era. Doc Evil's our fifth. Ulti Rising. You should also pay attention to the numbers. Doc Evil is growing the chart in what win percentages are possible. Um, we get the rise of Karmazin at some point, and Beast Day as well. That's our fifth number one, very narrowly. Now I think we get Kamikaze into Sujiro as the best players. Yeah, Kamikaze becomes the sixth, Sujiro the seventh. Seto's probably next. Oh, maybe Virgil. Yeah, Virgil's next, eighth. And then we're going to get the Seto Deli era, but Kamikaze and Sujiro are still excellent, as is Cookie. Oh no, I lost track of the number. What was the number? Oh, Met takes number one. That's cool. Kaus, Brock, Unfixable, Cookie, Doc, Karma, Kazi, Sujiro. So that was 8. I was off on my count, I think, earlier. And then Virgil, and then Meta is 10. Seto's 11. Ooh, good job by Grat. And Coops. Deli is 12. Kazi reclaims. Seto reclaims. Sujiro rising again, but I don't think we'll reclaim, though Guts third. Deli reclaims. No, we're still at 12 unique. Turds gets it with Vincent. Nicely done. 13. I think there have been 13 number ones. Kana really high. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember what avatar Kana used. Felt bad about that. Oh, I think it's no, it's the it's like Gur, like Deli's. It's from the same show. Ooh, I should have included that. My bad. Ah, I just couldn't get it until I looked at the name and now it clicked. Nice rise by Scythe. Deli reclaims number one. Seto is so good at staying in the mid high 80s. All right, I'm the 14th. Great Sephiroth is the 15th. We might get our first 90. Ooh, not, yeah, there we go. Okay. Uh, I'm betting MC is the next. Okay, Seto takes number one again, as he so often does. MC climbing. Yep, nice. MC is 16th. Hits an incredible score. This doesn't include Rhinoa, so Slash of Time, Nightwish, and Yojimbo are a little underrated at this point. Kamikaze, with his amazing Squall, comes back to take number one again. We have still had 16 number ones. Yojimbo starting to rise. He's going to take over soon. One other thing to note is each percentage point is harder to gain than the last. We can go into that at the end, but God, Seto's so good. All right, Yojimbo climbing, and he should take number one soon. Vid with his incredible Nanaki. And here's Yojimbo. He becomes the 17th number one and puts up unbelievable numbers. I think this sets the record for highest number. I think that was almost a 93. Chickeny rising. What a star. We're still at 17. Smokes has an incredible 2013-14 stretch, which also means we're going to be seeing Akiyama climbing. Slash rising, but Yojimbo's so steadily staying around 90. Deli coming back after a sort of weaker period. Akiyama wins a Dia. Oh, doesn't quite claim number one. Oh, that's a shame. That's so close. It's very hard to claim it when Yojimbo's on top. And Yojimbo falls off. Okay, Akiyama gets it. That's great. 18. Turds climbing again. Deli back. Midas climbing. Alright, I'm back. Tezuka's huge TTAC win. This is one of my favorite tournaments. I talk about this a lot. But Tezuka, Piggy, Chickeny, Smokes as a semifinals is just such a fun, strong semifinals where it could have gone any direction. I think that's my favorite semifinals ever. And we're almost at the reason I made this video. Nice run by Midas. All right, Seto reclaims. And Turds reclaims, yes, and it reset, but I want to stop there. Turds is currently number one and is probably one player of the year by the time this video comes out. There are 4 players ever who have won 2 traditional majors in a row. There might have been a Cosmos or Kefka in between, in which case, damn you, Deli ruining it or whatever. But of just the kind of traditional Triad Wars, SE, TTAC, single player, hand-based, majority open tournaments. You can argue about TTAC there, but I include it. This is the fourth, Turds is the 4th person ever to have won 2 in a row, and the 6th time it's ever been done. Yojimbo and I have both done it twice, and Doc Evil was the first to do it, and Turds is the 4th person to ever do it. And that's a really incredible feat. I think Turds has never been this strong, and it's been really cool to see. And I thought it would be fun to make a chart to go along with that. I also want to say, I think the site is clearly in a really good place right now. Everyone listed here has played in the last couple tournaments. I should have put images for Addy and DJ. I do know what their avatars are. My bad. But yeah, you can see just a very strong site at the moment. And I like that doing this, you could sort of pop to another moment in time. So, like, here you could be like, okay, to be Yevon is ninth right now at 69. What if we popped early on the site? What would ninth be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 67. And you could sort of take these snapshots in time and compare them. And for my money, the peak of the site and strength is somewhere around here. Maybe a little later, I'm not sure. It's a little weaker. But you can also sort of grab a picture and try to figure out when were the most players playing at a really high winning level. Again, this adjusts for opposition. So if like the only tournament, the only two players were Seto and Deli and they played each other, of course they would score 50% on average. You know, one of them might win, but like the average between them is going to be 50%. One wins, one loses 50%. Um, and calling them 50% players would be kind of mistaken. But if Seto and Deli are playing and they go 50% against each other, they should both be rated 80 plus. And this system does adjust, I think, for that appropriately. Anywho, that's all I got.